I can't believe I am filming this video right now. I'm so excited. Hey there, guys. Hi, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Most of the time on this channel, I talk about all things wavy curly hair. How to care for wavy curly hair, how to style it, tips and tricks, products, all that jazz. But today's video is going to be a little bit different. I will be sharing with you my first trimester update. And if you want, stick around till the end of the video to see some baby bump shots. Never thought I'd be saying that either. Let me just start off this video by saying that I understand the struggle of watching these kinds of videos when you are in a season of waiting, of not yet. And I know how hard that can be. So it will not hurt my feelings at all if you choose to skip this video and subsequent videos that I share about this pregnancy, because I'm excited. I do want to go ahead and make this video because my whole purpose here on YouTube is to be as helpful as humanly possible, and I find these videos helpful. There was a season when I didn't want to watch them, but I do think there is helpful, valuable content in these videos, so I will be sharing my experience in my first trimester, all the tips and tricks that have worked for me this time around, and bonus, this is actually my second pregnancy. I do have a 5-year-old little boy who is all boy, and I will be sharing comparisons between my first pregnancy and this pregnancy. So I hope this video is helpful to you. If you like it, please give this video a thumbs up. If you want to hang out with me, please feel free to subscribe and click that notification bell. I will mostly be talking about wavy curly hair, but if you want to hang out for future baby updates, make sure you're subscribed. Notification bell will let you know when I upload again. All right, without further ado, so that this video isn't too terribly long, let's jump right into it. I am, at the time of filming this video, 13 weeks pregnant, and I found out when I was pregnant at 4 weeks. Yeah, I know that's really, really early, but I am one of those women who is incredibly, incredibly regular. And if I am not, then I will take a pregnancy test. And I wound up not starting for a day, and I went, that's weird. I'll wait till tomorrow. The next day rolled around, still nothing, so I decided to take my pregnancy test. And this is something that I did this time around that I actually found really helpful. I bought a giant box of cheapy pregnancy tests because there were a few years there for a while where I would get excited and I would run out and I would buy a fancy schmancy test from the drugstore, run home, and then use it and be disappointed. So to mitigate disappointment, I decided to just stock in the back of my cabinet a box of cheapy pregnancy tests just to have, just in case, just so I would stop running out to the store to buy a test to be disappointed. We also decided to go ahead and tell family sooner this time around than with my first pregnancy because you show a lot faster with your second pregnancy. It's true what they say. You really, even if you're in really good shape and are like toned and have been working those ab muscles, you still show faster than with the first kiddo. After finding out I was pregnant, I noticed immediate food aversions. And this was really early on, like in the 4th and 5th week. There was one thing that I really wanted to eat first thing in the morning, every morning. It's the only thing that sounded good to me, and it's a little weird, but it is oatmeal, cooked 3/4 of the way, like almost done cooked, no sugar, no syrup, no nothing. You crack an egg into it and whisk it and cook the rest of the way until the egg is completely cooked and the oatmeal is completely cooked. It is so good. It reminds me a little bit of cheese grits, which is kind of a southern dish that I grew up eating that I really, really love. And it sat pretty well in my stomach and it tasted yummy. That is what I craved, the odd craving that I have in those first really early weeks. That craving passed fairly quickly, but some new cravings were definitely sprinkled in there shortly thereafter. I started wanting all the citrus fruit. It sounded delicious to me. I developed a very strong sweet tooth, really, really wanted all the sweets. Not typically a huge sweet eater over here, but it was a necessity. My body said, no, thou shalt eat cookies right now. Also, grilled ham and cheese sandwiches. Oh, I ate those every day for that first trimester. Not every day, but nearly every day. A little bit of butter on each side of the toast, cheddar cheese, ham. So good. So good. And the last thing that I have eaten every day, and this has stuck around, I still eat this, is cream cheese and bagels for breakfast. Dave's Everything Bagels are everything. And this leads me into my next point, which is that I have had, with this pregnancy, nausea. Oh, yay. Yippee skippy. My first pregnancy, first time around, it was almost sinful how easy the pregnancy was. There were very few things that I noticed or struggled with while pregnant. This time around, oh boy, this baby knows what they like and what they don't like. I have gotten a super sniffer on me right now. My nose is so sensitive. Fragrance now is like really strong. Something can be all the way across the room and I will feel like it is right there under my nose. I can smell it so strongly. And what this has done is it has limited the hair products that I'm able to use. Certain products that I loved using before pregnancy, I've started using now. No. Can't do it. The scent is really too much for me right now. But I've used them before and I knew they were fine. It's really interesting. The nausea does come and go. It's not like it's been a consistent thing throughout this whole first trimester. And what it feels like to me, instead of like nausea when you are getting the flu or something like that, it's actually more like car sickness. I get this really intense pressure headache feeling, and then the nausea comes along with it. A lot like car sickness for me. But I'm cheating because there's not been any actual tossing of cookies. I have been lucky so far, skated through that pretty smoothly. I've been able to keep all the nutrition I have been eating, which I am very, very grateful for. And another weird thing, when I start feeling sick, I also feel simultaneously very hungry while also feeling ill, like I don't want to eat anything, but I'm really hungry, which tells me that I went too long in between meals, and that's probably why I start feeling a little bit sick. This doesn't lead to the best food choices all the time. I am giving myself grace during this season to eat the things that I can. And I am grateful to be able to have the choices to eat the things that I can right now. There are some very specific things that have helped with the nausea. Ginger pills really do make a big difference for me. Green apples. Interestingly enough, I learned about this trick on a cruise a very long time ago. I went into the cruise ship convenience store to buy some Dramamine because I was not doing well, and the cashier suggested that instead of buying the $20 Dramamine on the cruise ship, that I try running up to the buffet and grabbing a green apple, eating that, and seeing if that didn't help a bit before buying the Dramamine. And guess what? He was right. It worked great. And that trick has worked well for me for car rides and things, including nausea during pregnancy. Green apples, great trick. Another thing that helps is drinking pregnancy-safe tea. It's very soothing, very calming. Helps me a lot when I am not feeling good. One of the things that is very similar between these two pregnancies is that I have this absolute bottomless pit feeling, kind of hunger going on. I am hungry all the time, I guess including while I'm feeling sick. So that's fun. What is unique about this is that I will be hungry, I will eat a meal, and then I will feel hungrier after I've completed eating the full meal than before I started the meal. Like, I will feel full. I will feel distended. And my brain and my stomach and my whole body is screaming at me to eat more. And that is a very, very frustrating feeling because I'm like, I just fed you. I just ate. And they're like, yes, eat that same thing 2 times more and then we'll be fine. Something that helps with that feeling is to utilize natural appetite suppressants. I am a person who naturally has an incredibly high appetite, and I find that using these things helps me not feel so hungry after eating a full meal. Ginger, natural appetite suppressant. I use those ginger pills. Fights the nausea, fights the hunger. Coffee. After discussing with my doctor how much caffeine is safe to drink during pregnancy, I make sure that I save a little bit of my coffee intake for later during the day, not after 5 p.m., but for the afternoons when I get really, really, really hungry. Drinking a little bit of coffee after I eat a good balanced snack really helps. And for the crazy sweet tooth, dark chocolate. Dark chocolate has been the most effective appetite satisfier that I have found so far. I have found a really good, clean, nice, healthy chocolate from my local grocery store, which I'm really happy about. Another thing I noticed is that I started feeling an incredible spike in energy and I started to feel really, really good. And then that weekend, I found out I was pregnant. So if you haven't been hanging out with me for a while, I have shared on this channel before that I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis last year. And this is an autoimmune condition wherein your immune system actually attacks your joints. It's not normal osteoarthritis where there's just normal wear and tear on your joints from repeated use. It's an autoimmune condition. And interestingly enough, autoimmune conditions can go into remission while pregnant because your immune system is suppressed. So your overactive immune system gets suppressed and then your autoimmune condition gets better. So last year, getting everything lined out with treatment for this condition, my doctor and I did discuss the medication that I was on. It is safe to be taken during pregnancy, but since there is the chance that my condition could go into remission while pregnant, the idea was that as soon as I found I was pregnant to go off of my medication and see how I did. So as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I stopped my medication. I have slowly started to feel worse and worse, which could just be that I'm 5 years older than I was with my first pregnancy, that normal tiredness that comes along with the first trimester, but I have also been noticing increased joint pain, mainly in my hands and my wrists, which is nice because usually this condition attacks larger joints. Haven't been having an issue there. All my symptoms are manageable, but that is another factor that is coming into play in this pregnancy. As my symptoms are still manageable, we are still waiting to start the medication back up because even though the medication is pregnancy safe, there's risk with all medication, safe or otherwise, in pregnancy. So if I can manage without it, I'm gonna try. There is something I do want to touch on that is specific to me that I haven't necessarily shared on this channel before. I have shared a little bit about it over on my Instagram page. If you're not following me on Instagram, feel free to come hang out. There is so much good information over on Instagram for wavy curly hair. Anyway, after being diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis last year, I decided to do some self-treatment by really cleaning up my diet. I started doing a ton of research on diets and really wanted to help my condition through the food I ate. Unfortunately, after 8 months of eating a very restrictive, very clean diet, I did not have any more good days than bad days. My symptoms had not been alleviated at all by the diet. The only thing that had seemed to improve me somewhat was the medication that the doctor prescribed. What I was left with after a very restrictive, clean eating diet was what appeared to look a bit like orthorexia. I was terrified of eating foods that could hurt me. Each decision around food created lots of anxiety because I wanted to make good decisions to feed my body well. This could be a whole nother video, but all that to say is after 8 months of this very clean diet and not feeling any better, once I realized I had kind of developed a problem, honestly, I've got to say thank goodness to YouTube, because the YouTube algorithm actually recommended to me Stephanie Bettermore's video All In, and it was the exact video I needed to see at the exact right time. She was describing all the symptoms I was feeling, and she shared her journey eating all in. And if you want to learn more about that, you are absolutely welcome to check out her video. Is it over here? I think it's over here. Check out her video for more information, but her symptoms were very similar to mine. And I decided to allow myself to try her approach to eating, which is to eat until you're full and then stop. Eat the foods that you are craving within reason, with good balance. No crazy restriction, no crazy diet, just to eat until you're full. And because I had damaged my hunger signals so badly with my clean eating diet, I was definitely eating a caloric surplus for a while. What does that have to do with this video, you may ask? Yeah, I'm starting this pregnancy with some surplus poundage. And I know what my body did the first time around, how much weight I gained with my first pregnancy. It was more than the recommended amount. And in my first pregnancy, I didn't necessarily eat a caloric surplus, really. But don't fear, even though I started this pregnancy with some surplus poundage, I am continuing to gain weight healthily, slowly, and steadily, even though you're technically not even supposed to gain weight during the first trimester. I started heavy and I'm getting heavier. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I am allowing myself to just eat and nourish my body, shoot for nutrient-dense foods that will nourish both me and baby and keep us growing and healthy and safe. And I will just enjoy the process of getting back into the gym once I feel a little bit better, because I honestly haven't been feeling good enough to be in the gym. Seems like with my last pregnancy and this pregnancy, I did catch a cold within the first few weeks of pregnancy. Ugh. And when you're pregnant and you have a cold, you don't feel like going to the gym. I definitely fell out of that habit, but I am beginning to feel a little bit better now that I'm climbing into the second trimester, so I'm looking forward to getting back into the gym once I'm feeling a little better. Another thing that is very different with this pregnancy versus my first pregnancy is the level of tired that I feel. So what I think happened with my first pregnancy is that I had undiagnosed, unmedicated rheumatoid arthritis, and when I got pregnant, my rheumatoid arthritis went into remission, and I started to feel so good for the first time in a very long time. And that is part of the reason I had such smooth sailing with my first pregnancy. But this time around, I am 5 years older. I have a young child running around in the house. I'm doing a lot of things, and I am tired. So what I'm doing that really seems to be helping that is allowing myself the grace to nap if I need to nap. I'm not a great napper, but that is a skill I have acquired in this first trimester. I've become a much better napper than I used to be. Also, if I need to go to bed at 7 p.m., I go to bed at 7 p.m. and it's glorious because then I wake up at 7 the next morning. It just feels so good to sleep. And if you need sleep, take the sleep. It will help you so much. Part of the exhaustion and the nausea and everything has led to me not feeling like cooking lots of nutrient-dense foods. So what I did that I really liked, this company doesn't know I'm even talking about them. They don't know I exist. I checked out Real Eats. What they make are meals that are nutrient-dense, good, high-quality ingredients, all in a nice little package that you can heat up and eat. They are filling, they're delicious, and I don't have to cook when I am feeling completely exhausted. I was able to pick them up on sale, which was just an absolute blessing when I couldn't cook for myself. I am also very sensitive to heat this time around, and I'm having weird dreams. Every night, the dreams are super, super weird. So that is another symptom that I've heard other women describe as being pretty normal. Also, let's get real personal. Let's get real TMI. I am sore. So sore. The first time around, I was a little sore. I was aware of soreness. This time is a whole nother ball game. Like, please don't even hug me. Don't touch me. I hurt. Sleeping is actually an issue because I'm actually a side sleeper and I tend to turn from side to side when I sleep. And each change in position is, I wake up because it hurts so much turning from one side to the other. The thing that has helped that the most is to get a really breathable, cushy, lovely sleeping bra. Yes, absolute game changer for me. As for my hair, I have definitely been going product free more often because low energy. I don't feel like washing and styling my hair. I just don't. Shampoo, conditioner, let it air dry, call it good. That is all I have energy for these days. And on days where I do feel a little bit higher energy, I do wash my hair and style it and diffuse it and do all the things, which is so fun for me. But I have been giving myself the grace to not do my hair as often as I was doing before. The last thing I'm going to close this video with, which when I watch these videos, other women have talked about, is that this time around, I am noticing elevated levels of fear or anxiety. This time around, my brain has just been running away from me a bit. First pregnancy, I didn't have that. This time around, I have definitely been aware that I am 5 years older. I've been thinking about everything that's going on in the world. I've been thinking about my autoimmune condition, and tragically, recently, I have had friends of mine lose their babies, and that is absolutely devastating. And my brain can't help but empathize with them and think about, what if that was me? And that is really hard. But there has been one thing that has really been comforting my heart, and it has been 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, and that is, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of peace and of love and of a sound mind." I love the King James Version of this verse, because when I am dealing with the surge of pregnancy hormones, my brain doesn't feel very sound or solid or grounded. It feels all over the place, really running away from me, spinning in a pool of fear and anxiety and drowning me in it. But to know that I have not been given that spirit of fear, that I have been given the spirit of love and of peace and of a sound mind, it just allows me to go, you know what? God, I will trust you. And that has been helping me. All right, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I am so glad to be sharing this with you guys. Don't worry, the hair content will continue. I am a bit curious on how I'm going to continue to wash and style my hair. Normally, I wash and style my hair while hanging upside down, bending over my bathtub. And baby, whoo, don't fall. And baby might just be changing how I do that. We will see. Also, because you stuck around till the end of the video, I will go ahead and let you know that we did find out the gender. I am a very impatient person, and I really wanted to know. It's a little girl. All right, guys, I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.